We're going to do a short session this morning looking at extension of the spine and how we can achieve that in different positions. So we're going to start off, you might need actually before we start, I've got some props today. So if you have either an oval ball, a slightly bigger, more sort of triangle type size ball, I've got a short foam roller that could also be useful for extending the spine. If you haven't got any of those bits of equipment, and if you just get a large bath towel, one of the big ones, and roll that up to form a nice sort of roller shaped section of towel, then that will also be useful as we go forward. Alright, so come around to sit at the end of your mat, feet flat. Okay, on the floor, knees bent, legs are parallel, hip width apart. And we're trying to lengthen the spine up as much as possible in this position, making sure the ribs sit directly above the hips. Okay, we're going to start just with our hands resting behind our thighs. Okay, and we're going to breathe in and round the spine. So breathing in, you're going to rock back off your sit bones, scoop the abdominals back and come into your C curve or your flexed spine position. We're going to breathe out, lengthen the spine up, and then breathing in, we're going to just bring the chest towards the knees. I want you to pull on the backs of those thighs, shine the chest forward, and look up towards the top corner of the room. Good. Breathing out, come back to neutral, breathe in, come back into that C curve, that little flexion of the spine. Good. Breathing out, grow tall, grow tall, grow tall. And then breathing in, shine the chest forward and lengthening around into that extension of the spine. And you want to feel the work of that extension in the upper part of your back, yes, in the rib cage area. Breathing in C curve, breathing out, lengthen the spine through. Breathing in, extend the spine. Good, and then growing tall. We're going to do one more of these, rounding the spine, scoop the abdominals, good, relax the shoulders, and grow tall. And then continue to lead with the crown of the head and extend the spine forward. Good, all the way up. Really shine that chest forward, get a good connection, thighs to chest, and then drawing yourself back into neutral. We're going to bring ourselves safely down onto the mat now. So bringing yourself into that rounded C curve. Just bring your hands down the backs of your legs as you roll back onto your sacrum. Bring your hands to the mat as you come down into your relaxation position. Okay, so here we are going to look at putting one of these items behind us. Alright. So the balls are great, a foam roller is lovely, it's a much firmer extension of the spine. I'm going to assume that a lot of you don't have this equipment at home, so I'm going to use the rolled up towel. Okay, and place that behind my rib cage, yes, around my shoulder blades. You just want to take a moment to get that nice and comfy. I would say that the towel is in line with the tips of my shoulder blades. I'm going to take my hands behind my head. Now in this position, we want to try and still have the rib-hip alignment good, okay? So I'm not looking to have the lower back flat against the floor and a neutral pelvis to the mat in this position. I'm wanting to get a neutral pelvis in alignment with the rib cage, yes, which is now a slight angle down towards the mat. So be mindful of that. Feel where the ribs are, feel where the hips are, and try and get that nice alignment through. You're still going to need a little bit of connection into your tummy, so a little bit drawing up pelvic floor and navel to spine to give yourself a bit of support in this position. Both hands behind your head. I want you to take the weight of the head in the hands and lengthen the back of the neck. And from here, we're just going to lengthen the spine back over our towel or our roller or our ball. Okay, elbows are in your peripheral vision. You're breathing out as you extend the spine back. You're breathing in as you draw yourself back up, just to neutral. And then breathing out to extend the spine. Good. Breathing in, draw yourself back up. Good. Breathing out to extend. Really try and lengthen the spine over. Try and leave the ribs down, good. See if you can bring the back of your head to the floor. Maybe at that point you want to send the elbows a little bit wider, get that stretch through the armpit and across the front of the chest a little bit more. Then bring the elbows back into your peripheral vision, shoulder blades on the rib cage, back of the neck long, draw yourself up. We'll take it into a small amount of flexion here, just tucking the ribs down a little bit, flexing the thoracic spine, and then lengthening back through, bone by bone. Try and leave the ribs down towards those hips as you bone by bone by bone extend through the rib cage. Bring yourself back into that nice extension of the spine again, sending the elbows wide if that feels good for you. If it doesn't, then don't do it. Yes, taking a moment here. And then bringing the elbows back in your peripheral vision, taking the weight of the head in the hands, and bringing yourself back forward and up. Okay, from here we're going to come over onto our tummies. You can obviously do more of these, but I'm just showing you kind of ways in which you can extend the spine and get away from this flexed positioning. So we're going to come and do a little bit of cobra prep. Again, if you have some of these aids, you can put them in underneath you. So I quite like the overboard to go under my chest for this, to allow the spine to access a little bit more movement in this position. So the ball will go underneath your chest, on your sternum. Your legs are a bit wider than your hips and slightly turned out at the hip. You're neutral in your pelvis. Just have your elbows tucked down towards your waist, hands flat on the floor. As you breathe out, you're just lengthening through the crown of the head and extending up through the neck and into the upper back, drawing those shoulder blades down the back, keeping the forearms nicely connected to the mat. Pelvis stays neutral, shine the chest forward, extend. Again, all the work's in the upper part of your rib cage. Yes, breathing in to round the spine forward. Pelvis stays neutral, breathing out as you extend the spine. Pushing the floor away with those forearms, yes. If you don't have the aid, I'll take the ball away. It's exactly the same movement. Yes, as you breathe out, you extend the spine through. Pushing those forearms and elbows into the floor. Shine that chest forward. Yes, like we were doing as we were seated earlier. And breathing in to bring it back down. Lovely. Breathing out. Lengthen through the crown of the head, bone by bone. Good, bringing it forward. Now for those of you that are familiar with Pilates and have done it for a little while, you can take that into your full extension of the spine. You need to make sure that you've got a lot going on in your tummy. You come through that prep phase. You can start to then push through the hands, lengthening the arms up and fully extend the spine. Good, breathing in here. To start to return the spine all the way back down. And once again, taking a breath in to prepare, breathing out, lead through the crown of the head. And fully extending the spine, extending those hips out. You need to make sure that you are supported in your centre, yes, and that you don't take any strain into the lower back at that point. Push back into a little rest position from there, just to stretch back and open out the shoulders and the upper back. From here, we're going to come into a 4-point kneeling position and do some extension of the spine there. So hands below shoulders, knees below hips, okay? Hip width and shoulder width apart respectively. Starting from a nice neutral position. We're going to take it through our cat and our extended cat, okay? So as you breathe out, you're going to tuck the tailbone under, extend through the hips, really opening out the lower back, drawing that belly button up and bringing yourself into a full flexion of the spine, having the hips as open as you can here. Breathing in, we're going to come back to neutral. And breathing out, we're going to send the spine the other way, sending the tailbone away from you and bringing yourself into that extended cat position. Breathe into neutral. Breathing out, tuck the tailbone under, flex the spine, and then lengthening the spine out. and into that extension, shining the tailbone away, bone by bone, bringing yourself into that extended cat position. Good, bringing yourself back to neutral. And once again, rounding the spine up. Lengthening the spine back out. And extending into that extended cat position. Good, bringing yourself back into neutral and just pushing back. Again, reaching out and stretching that upper back out. Knees go wide, feet together here, and reach those arms forward. Okay. So from here, and you can do this in standing. I'm actually going to do it in high kneeling for you, but you can do this in standing. We're just going to do a little bit of work through the shoulders and extend the spine in this more upright position. So again, trying to get the alignment through. If you work in high kneeling, you need to make sure that your hips are in neutral, okay, and the rib cage again is sitting nicely on top. We're breathing out and we're taking the arms out to the side, floating them all the way up and round, reaching them up. At the top, we're taking our gaze up towards the ceiling and we're allowing the upper back to arch. You almost want to draw the shoulder blades down the back slightly. Hips stay nice and still here. So again, it's in the upper back. Good. Return the spine. Tuck the ribs back in line with the hips and float the arms down in front of you. Taking the arms out to the side, palms forward, reach them round, all the way up. From there, start to take your gaze up to the top corner of the room and extend into the thoracic spine. Leave the hips where they are. Good. Return the ribcage to neutral and float the arms down in front of you. We'll do that one more time, taking the arms out and round, reaching up, taking the gaze up. Lift the chest, draw the shoulder blades down the back slightly. Good. Return the rib cage. Bringing the arms all the way down in front of you. Just give your shoulders a little roll. And we will call it a day there for today. Thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you soon.